Beneath the expansive night sky of the Navajo lands, a chilling howl echoes through the darkness. Miles from the nearest town, a lone rancher stands on his porch, his skin prickling with the electrifying sense of being watched. This is no ordinary night. The winds seem to carry whispers of a long-feared legend, a tale passed down through generations, alive in the heartbeats of those who dare to speak of it. This is the realm of the Skinwalkers, creatures shrouded in mystery and fear, deeply rooted in Navajo folklore. But before we delve deeper, it's important to acknowledge the cultural sensitivity surrounding the discussion of Skinwalkers. These are not just stories, they are profound elements of a living culture, deeply interwoven with the beliefs and practices of the Navajo people. The Navajo, or Diné, have long nurtured a rich culture, full of myths and legends, each embedded with life lessons and spiritual wisdom. Among these, the Skinwalker narrative stands distinct, a chilling contrast to human nature and a reflection of the dire consequences of spiritual deception. Skinwalkers, known in the Navajo language as Yi Nald Lushi, translate to he who walks on all fours. This name itself is evocative, hinting at the unnatural reversal of the natural order, where humans or human-like creatures forsake their upright walk to creep on all fours, embodying their descent into moral decay. In Navajo mythology and folklore, the universe is perceived as a delicate balance between harmony and chaos. Every action, whether seen or unseen, has reverberations that affect both the natural and the spiritual realms. This cosmic equilibrium is maintained through strict adherence to Navajo ethical and spiritual laws, which govern all aspects of life and interaction within the world. Central to these practices is the concept of the ways, various paths of spiritual practice that not only enhance life, but also help maintain the universe's cosmic balance. The Blessing Way, or Hoju-ji, represents the core of normative spiritual practices among the Navajo. It is a path dedicated to healing, protection, and the promotion of harmony. This way is grounded in the Navajo philosophy of Hoju, which translates to beauty, harmony, balance, and well-being. The Blessing Way encompasses not just specific rituals, but a holistic way of life that encourages living in accordance with these principles. The ceremonies associated with the Blessing Way often involve intricate sand paintings, chants, prayers, and rituals that are designed to restore balance and peace to the individual, the community, and the environment. These practices are preventive and curative, aiming to align daily life with the forces of harmony and health that pervade the universe. Contrasting sharply with the Blessing Way is the Witchery Way, or Anti-Ihni, known in Navajo as one of the paths that employ spiritual powers for malevolent and harmful ends. This path is a stark deviation from the healing and protective practices of the Blessing Way and is often regarded as a corruption and perversion of these more benevolent mystical practices. The Witchery Way is characterized by its use of sorcery to cause harm, disrupt harmony, and bring about sickness, misfortune, and chaos. It reflects the potential for spiritual knowledge to be twisted for destructive purposes. Practices associated with the Witchery Way involve various forms of dark sorcery that are directly aimed at causing harm to others. This could include casting spells meant to bring illness, using charms to sow discord, or performing rituals that invert the natural order of things. Such practices stand in direct opposition to the Navajo belief in walking in beauty and living in harmony with all creation. They are considered a grave violation of both ethical and spiritual laws, disrupting the balance that the Blessing Way seeks to uphold. The interplay between the Witchery Way and the Blessing Way in Navajo culture underscores a broader philosophical and ethical dialogue about the nature of power and responsibility. While the Blessing Way seeks to align individuals with the constructive forces of the universe, the Witchery Way serves as a cautionary example of how these powers can be misused. Both ways, however, are integral to understanding the Navajo worldview, which accommodates the dualities of human nature and the spiritual complexities of the universe. The Skinwalkers are perhaps the most chilling embodiments of the Witchery Way's influence. According to Navajo lore, skinwalkers were not born evil, but were once respected healers or spiritual leaders within their communities. These individuals, however, were corrupted by the seductive allure of power and the dark capabilities it could unleash. Whether tempted by the greed and lust for power, or hubris in thinking one can control the spiritual forces, these individuals tapped into a force that would change them forever. The transformation from a healer or spiritual leader into a skinwalker is marked by a profound spiritual degradation, a fall from grace that is both metaphorical and literal. The initiation into the skinwalker path is believed to require an act so evil and taboo that it irrevocably severs the individual's ties to all protective and benign spiritual forces. Typically, this act involves the murder of a close family member, a betrayal that grants the perpetrator forbidden knowledge and powers, but also aligns them with darker forces within the natural and spiritual realm, marking them as pariahs within their own culture and the natural world. A newly created skinwalker is said to lose their shadow as a symbolic representation of their lost soul and humanity. The lore of the creation of a skinwalker serves as a powerful cautionary tale within Navajo culture, highlighting the dangers of hubris and the consequences of misusing sacred power. It reinforces the cultural values of humility, respect for spiritual laws, and the critical importance of maintaining harmony within the natural order. The skinwalker is known for their formidable abilities. These entities embody the darkest aspects of power and its potential for corruption. The most chilling aspect of the skinwalker is its ability to transform into various animals. This transformation is central to their identity as Yinald Lushi. Such transformations are achieved through deeply taboo rituals that involve the killing of an animal or other living creature, skinning it, and then donning the animal's skins, all of which is strictly forbidden in Navajo culture under normal circumstances. These skins are not merely disguises, but are believed to imbue the skinwalker with the essential qualities of the animal itself, its strength, its stealth, and instinct. Skinwalkers may also carry talismans made from bones, feathers, or other animal parts, believed to enhance their powers and protect them from being discovered. They are often portrayed as malevolent witches who use their powers to harm others for personal gain. They are the antithesis of what Navajo spiritual practices stand for, embodying selfishness, greed, and chaos. They are also cautionary figures. Stories of skinwalkers serve as moral lessons against the misuse of spiritual power and the dangers of breaking cultural taboos. The physical appearance of skinwalkers, while inconsistent due to their shape-shifting abilities, carries some distinct characteristics. In their human form, skinwalkers are almost indistinguishable from other members of the Navajo tribe, which is what makes them particularly terrifying. They live among the tribe, often masquerading as ordinary members of the community during the day. However, there are subtle signs that may reveal their true nature. When in human form, the eyes of a skinwalker are often described as more intense and animal-like. When light catches their eyes, they may reflect an eerie, unnatural glow similar to an animal's eyes in the dark. Some tales suggest that skinwalkers might exhibit odd behavior or mannerisms that are not typical of their usual human personality, especially if they have recently transformed back from an animal. Speaking of their animal forms, the most common animal that skinwalkers shapeshift into are that of predators or scavengers, such as wolves, coyotes, foxes, owls, or crows. These animals are chosen for their physical abilities, stealth, and the symbolic fear they instill. In animal form, a skinwalker may not perfectly mimic the appearance of the animal it chooses. There can be oddities in appearance, such as a coyote standing unnaturally tall, or an owl with a disturbingly human gaze. These anomalies serve as a sinister reminder of the unnatural forces at work. Many videos and images you see online that claim to capture a skinwalker follow these same traits, where the appearance is uncanny or just unexplainably uncomfortable. Some other stories mention skinwalkers appearing in terrifying hybrid forms that combine human and animal features, like an upright walking wolf with elongated arms or a bear with glaringly human eyes. These forms are particularly fearsome and are meant to terrorize their victims. The transformation process itself is said to be painful and grotesque. It involves the skinwalker bending and breaking their body into the new form, accompanied by sounds of bones snapping and flesh tearing. Despite the horror of transformation, it is often described as alarmingly quick, allowing the skinwalker to switch forms in the blink of an eye to escape danger or to catch prey. Beyond physical transformation, skinwalkers are also attributed with other supernatural powers. Voice mimicry. They can mimic any voice, a tool they use to sow discord or lure victims out into the open. However, many claim that the mimicry is not 100% perfect. If you're ever out in the woods and hear the cry of an animal that just doesn't sound right, run. Mind control. It is said they can bend the wills of humans and animals, making them do the skinwalker's bidding without their conscious consent. Curse casting. Utilizing cursed objects or substances, skinwalkers can afflict individuals, families, or even entire communities with suffering, illness, or bad luck. In both the mind control and casting of curses, the skinwalkers require something physical, such as hair, nails, skin, or other personal items, in order for their power to take effect. Despite their fearsome powers, skinwalkers are not invulnerable. Navajo lore speaks of ways to protect against and even fight back against these dark beings. Protection through ritual. Certain traditional rituals and amulets are believed to provide protection against skinwalkers. These often involve elements that are pure and sacred, which can act as shields against the corruption of the skinwalkers. Identification. One of the most potent defenses against a skinwalker is to name them while in their human form. Doing so is said to weaken them or even cause them to die. For this reason, skinwalkers must keep their true identities a secret from the community. White ash. According to some accounts, white ash, especially from a blessed fire, is effective in deterring skinwalkers. It can be used to create barriers or mixed with other substances to nullify a skinwalker's powers. Each of these characteristics, the ability to transform, the power over minds, and the capacity to curse, reflects deep-seated cultural fears about the misuse of spiritual power and the consequences of moral decay. They serve as a stark reminder of what happens when sacred knowledge is twisted for personal gain. The lore of the skinwalker is steeped in a complex web of cultural significance and taboos within Navajo society. These stories are not merely cautionary tales, but are integral to understanding the Navajo worldview and the social mechanisms that govern community interactions and spiritual beliefs. In Navajo culture, taboos are profound. They are not simply prohibitions, but are considered essential to maintaining the balance and harmony of life. The taboo against speaking about skinwalkers, especially at night, is deeply embedded in this system. This prohibition stems from the belief that speaking about evil beings can attract their attention and potentially bring harm to oneself and one's family. This taboo also serves a broader communal purpose by maintaining a boundary around dangerous knowledge. Skinwalkers represent a perversion of sacred spiritual practices. Thus, discussing them is also a way of acknowledging and giving space to malevolent forces, which is itself considered risky behavior. The legend of the skinwalker transcends the role of a simple story in Navajo culture. It encapsulates deep teachings about the nature of good and evil, the consequences of ethical breaches, and the complex dynamics of power. As creatures that invert the natural and social order, skinwalkers are symbolic of what happens when sacred laws are broken. In a broader sense, they serve as a metaphor for the disruption of harmony and the chaos that ensues when societal norms are ignored. The Navajo are traditionally reluctant to share detailed knowledge of skinwalkers with outsiders, partly to protect the sacredness of their practices and partly to prevent the misuse of powerful information. This secrecy is deeply ingrained and is reflective of the broader respect for privacy and discretion that characterizes Navajo culture. The details about how one becomes a skinwalker, the rituals involved, and how they practice their malevolence are closely guarded, known only to those within certain circles of knowledge. This limited knowledge serves as a natural barrier, protecting the uninitiated from information that could be harmful if misunderstood or misused. It also protects the community from external judgment and the potential trivialization of their beliefs and practices in a world where indigenous narratives are often subjected to skepticism and sensationalism. How skinwalker stories are told, who tells them, and the context in which they are shared are all important aspects of their transmission. Respect in storytelling involves a careful consideration of the audience, the timing, and the setting. These stories are traditionally shared among family or within close-knit community groups, often during the winter months when storytelling is traditionally practiced because the earth is considered to be asleep, and it is safer to discuss dangerous topics. The portrayal of skinwalkers in popular media starkly contrasts with their complex and sacred role within Navajo culture, as these beings have been woven into the fabric of mainstream horror and supernatural genres. Their depiction has often strayed from the traditional narratives, impacting public perception and cultural understanding. Skinwalkers first captured the broader public's imagination through horror stories and films that sensationalize their mystical abilities and malevolent nature. This fascination grew as more people sought thrilling and exotic elements in their entertainment, often at the cost of cultural accuracy and sensitivity. As a result, skinwalkers have been featured in various forms, from villains in horror movies to mysterious entities in paranormal investigation series. These portrayals typically focus on the fear factor associated with skinwalkers, emphasizing their powers of transformation and dark magic without the contextual cultural significance that provides depth and meaning to these attributes within Navajo beliefs. Horror films often depict skinwalkers as monstrous creatures driven solely by malevolence, stripped of any ethical or cultural complexity. Books. Fantasy and horror novels may incorporate skinwalkers as characters that add a thrilling edge to the narrative, often misrepresenting the spiritual and cultural nuances. Television. Shows dealing with supernatural themes sometimes introduce skinwalkers as mysterious and dangerous creatures, using them as plot devices to build suspense and intrigue. These representations can dilute the profound cultural and ethical implications of the skinwalker legends, reducing them to mere entertainment elements devoid of their true significance. The misrepresentation of skinwalkers in media has several repercussions. Firstly, it often leads to a misunderstanding of Navajo beliefs and practices, portraying them as primitive or superstitious, rather than acknowledging them as part of a rich spiritual tradition. Furthermore, sensationalized media portrayals can also attract unwanted attention to Navajo communities from thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts who may trespass on tribal lands or disturb sacred sites in their quest to find or experience a skinwalker. This not only disrespects the privacy and traditions of the Navajo people, but can also lead to real-world legal and social conflicts. Navajo communities and cultural advocates often respond to these portrayals by reasserting the sacredness and significance of their traditions. They strive to educate the public about the real meanings and implications of their beliefs, either through direct communication, participation in cultural documentation projects, or through the arts. Some members of the Navajo community have taken to the media themselves to provide more accurate and respectful representations of their culture. These efforts are crucial in counteracting the myths perpetuated by mainstream media and in fostering a deeper understanding of Navajo traditions and values. The stories and personal accounts involving skinwalkers are not only a testament to the enduring power of Navajo folklore, but also a profound reflection of the community's engagement with these supernatural beliefs. These narratives, often shared within the private confines of family or close community groups, offer a glimpse into the personal and communal impact of the skinwalker legend. Personal narratives about skinwalkers vary widely, but typically include elements of mysterious encounters, unexplained phenomena, and often a deep sense of fear or awe. These stories are rarely documented formally and are most often communicated orally, maintaining the tradition of oral storytelling prevalent in Navajo culture. Due to the sensitive and secretive nature of Skinwalker stories, many are shared anonymously or with significant details omitted to protect the identities of those involved. This anonymity is crucial, as it helps prevent potential backlash or fear of retribution, both from within and outside the community. In recent years, many Skinwalker stories and videos have been made available on video sharing platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok. Many stories involve encounters on secluded roads or near the boundaries of the reservation, where the natural and supernatural worlds are said to intersect more freely. While many videos show people or animals acting very strange, as if they were possessed, whispering or even screaming in the distance. Another common theme is the Skinwalker's ability to mimic the voices of known persons or animals, a tactic used to lure the unsuspecting into dangerous situations. Also, narratives often describe the physical symptoms that accompany a Skinwalker's presence, such as overwhelming dread, cold chills, or even temporary paralysis. These personal narratives do more than entertain. They reinforce communal norms and the cultural understanding of supernatural elements within Navajo life. They serve as modern-day parables, warning against certain places or behaviors and reinforcing the vigilance against malevolent forces. Moreover, they contribute to a shared cultural identity that values the unseen and respects the powers that govern the natural and spiritual worlds. But they also provide entertainment to those who seek mystery and the paranormal and can be completely made up just for the art of storytelling. As we conclude our exploration of the Skinwalkers, we've delved into their dark origins, mysterious powers, and the profound cultural significance these beings hold within Navajo folklore. We've uncovered not just tales of terror, but also lessons about the balance between good and evil and the consequences of misusing power. These stories serve as a reminder of the delicate harmony between the spiritual and physical worlds. Remember, the legend of the Skinwalker is more than a simple ghost story. It is a part of a living culture that deserves respect and understanding. As we venture into the realm of the unknown, let these tales enlighten us about the deeper meanings of fear and caution embedded in the Navajo folklore. So the next time you find yourself in a forest or a secluded home, pause for a moment. Listen to the wind in the trees, the rustle of the leaves, the howl of a wolf, and ask yourself, what mysteries might these lands hold? Are these just legends, or could they be something more? Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. What did you think? Did I miss any details? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome to the channel. I hope I earned a like and subscription in your eyes. If not, that's okay. I'll keep making videos until I do earn it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate all the views, likes, subscriptions, and kind words and messages. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here today. That's it for now. I hope to see you all in the next one.